this is Ellen. I finally have a tutorial for you that's only on one loom. I'm going to call this one the zipper bracelet because it reminds me of a zipper going up. It was actually an accident that I made it because I was trying to redo a different bracelet redo a bracelet a different way, I guess. But I have a couple of variations to show you. This is just regular single banded through the whole entire bracelet, and this one is double banded through the entire bracelet, so it's definitely a thicker bracelet. And then, because when I look at these, I see these nice little picots that are poking off, and it just makes me want to put beads on them. So I did a couple different ones. This one is completely single banded, and then I added beads to the sides. This one is double banded on the colored parts, single banded through the middle, and then I added, or actually two little pony beads on the sides. And then this one is entirely double banded, and I added other pony beads on there. I really like that one. And then this one I did just for fun. It is double banded throughout, and then I added beads on it. The bigger beads I added on a different way because I didn't want to see where the hole of the bead was. So I'll show you how to do that as well, besides the normal way with, I guess, the holes showing. And then I'll show you this one just for fun, but I got creative and doubled it, I guess you could say, and added a little bit more. So I'm going to show you how to make this one single banded. I'll put the beads down one side so you see how I do that with the pony beads, and then I have another bracelet I was doing that I'll show you how to add the beads on sideways so you won't see where the holes are. So let's get started. Alright, so you have your loom set up, the lower pin bar, and then up this way at an angle. It's just one loom. And I guess I should mention too that this bracelet, it is able to go around my wrist and close, so you probably won't need an extension. Even the ones that are double banded and thicker, those ones go around as well. It's a little snug, but you probably won't have to worry about it, so that's a bonus, of course. So back to the loom. So you want your loom set up like this, and we're just going to take, and this is the single banded one. You can do it how you want with the double bands or not. We're just going to go up into like a triangle pattern all the way up the loom. And I am going to put a button cap on this one, just because I know that some people have asked me what a button cap was, what I mean by that. Normally you have just the end cap where you wrap it around. The button cap is just basically a cap with a button. I usually use at least 2 bands through them just so they're sturdier. But small crochet hook or a piece of wire or thread and needle, and you can pull these through. Just like this. And then you're just going to take these and you'll fit them over your end cap. So just like that. So when you loom, it'll be trapped in there, and you'll have a button that you can wrap the other end around to close your bracelet. Okay, so here's what you have now. And we're just going to come back here and basically just going to lay starbursts, or half starbursts, I should say. Like this. And we're going to do that in every triangle. And I guess if some of you watch my other videos, you'll notice this looks a lot like the stained glass layout. And it is very similar. It is just a variation of it. But it makes a very pretty bracelet, so. But just do this all the way up your loom. You don't have to put the end caps on yet, because those will be where we put the beads, so I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so that's what you should have now. Just part of this, your perimeter down beneath, and then starburst in every triangle. So then we'll come back to the beginning, and if you want to add beads, you would take a band and your bead, stick your band through like this. And I think it's easiest if you put one end on, grab the bead, pull it down, and then pull the side up so that it's trapped on there like that. So that'll be basically your end cap for the middle of the starburst. And then if you're not going to have beads, you would just take and make an end cap here. Like that. So just do these how you like. Lots of different beads can be used. I know when I do the double banded bracelets, I actually do double band these as well. It's probably not totally necessary, but I guess I'm all about uniformity, so. So you could do one side and then come back to the other side. Like that. So end caps or bead caps or however you want to add to middle of the starbursts. But that's everything, and now we just need to start looming. So you can turn your loom around, and then you want to loom out all your starbursts. So just go in through your end cap or your bead cap, grab the top band, and loom it out. And then when you do the bead ones, it's easier if you hold on to the bead. Kind of pull it out, grab that band, and then loop it. And then once you get a couple of them, you should be able to let it go. It's just that when you accidentally pull them off, you have to redo the bead as well, so it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. Alright, so that's all the starbursts loomed out. And we'll just come back here to the beginning and do our little middle zipper here. Grab the bottom band, pull it over, and do that all the way up the loom. Alright, that's everything loomed. So now we can actually take our bracelet off. So stick your hook in the end and pull it off. Alright, and that's what it looks like. Looks pretty good, I think. And then if you didn't do a button, you'll have to put a C-cap or C-clip on here. But since I did a button, I'm going to stretch the end out and put it over. So, there you have it. The zipper bracelet. But I will also show you what I would do for the other beads that you don't want to see the opening of the hole, or if you just want the beads turned this way instead of open like that. What I did was I took these beads that I had found at a Hobby Lobby, and I just threaded, this is beading wire, threaded some rubber bands there. And these are small holes, so that's why I'm doing this. Stretch the bands and pull them through. If you do use wire to pull them through, make sure you stop as soon as you get it through, because these will cut your bands. If you don't have beading wire or craft wire, you can just take a zip tie or a bread tie and remove some of the paper off of it, and then you can use the wire in there. And pretty much everybody has one of these laying around the house somewhere. That's only if you have a small hole to get rubber bands through. But just have a couple more here. I know some people use a thread and needle to do this as well, but I think this kind of skips a couple of steps of threading the needle in the first place. But what I would do is you lay your bottom triangle bands all the way up your loom, and then you would come back and you would lay bands from the middle of your triangle out this way, but skip the one that goes up here and the one that goes down here. So you just make little V's in each one of your little triangles, and do that all the way down your loom. And then what I would do to attach them is, you can take any bead, so even the pony beads, and you just thread them through this way. So it doesn't have to be particular beads that I'm using, but thread them through so you have an end. And again, I double banded this one, so I pulled 2 bands through. But so you have 2 ends poking out. Just loop one end up here and loop one end over here, like that. And then you'll do that all the way up your loom. So it just kind of hangs out there for right now. Alright, so that's what it should look like now, with your bead kind of hanging off the side of the loom. And now what I would do is take your loom and turn it how you need to. And I would go under here, take your top band. This isn't going to be pretty either. Grab that top band and pull it back towards itself. And then do the same thing on this side. It gets hard because this other band wants to stay where it is, like this. So you're basically trapping it in there. I did try, actually on this bracelet, to just loop it up through here, through the middle of this. But when I did that, I mean, you might not be able to tell on most bracelets, but if you can see, here's the band that went through the bead that I hooked onto the 2 pins, and then I pulled it up and I only wrapped it around one of these, one of the bands. And then I think that just kind of, because on the other side you look at it and you have a little hanging off piece right here and pulled over, but then if you look at the other side, it's just not quite as uniform as I would like it to be. So you can certainly pull it up if it's easier to go in through here, pull this up, and see how that goes. That's up to you. But I'm going to, on this one, try a different way. So just going to trap that band between these two. Like that. And of course this will loosen when you pull it off, so it won't be quite as tight, but the reason why this is a pain, because if I just try to pull straight up, I don't get anything. I have to actually take it off the pin to pull it over. Alright, so I did pull these back out just because they were getting in my way, and I know when I do the middle perimeter they'll be in my way some more. So we have all that. So we'll go back to the beginning here. Gap. So we'll go in through, grab the bottom bands, and loop them over. And you'll do that all the way up the bracelet. Alright, so I have it all loomed, and we'll take it off. Alright, so this is how it looks. Definitely not like the original. I think putting beads in every corner, it changed it so that it's kind of more like a rope now. And these beads probably are not wide enough to fill the gap like I envisioned them doing. So, because in this bracelet, I just did beads every other, so you still had the original partial starburst, so you could see some of that original design, and I definitely lost that when I did that. But it was an experiment, and I guess it does work when you do it every other, for sure. But when you do every one, you lose the shape, and still pretty, but not what I intended over here. So, but you get to see it. But that is the tutorial for my zipper bracelet. And then the option of how to put the beads on differently if you don't want to do the end cap way. So, and as I showed you, there are tons of different variations of how to do this bracelet, and I think a lot of them are fun. It should fit all the way around your wrist with a little bit of stretch, so you shouldn't need to extend it. Even the double banded ones do. But that is my tutorial for my zipper bracelet. I hope you enjoy, and hopefully I'll have more tutorials for you soon. Thanks.